and we were preparing for another long year on the tour. Surf was as good as it gets. We got word that there were only going to be 2 repatriation flights back to South Africa, and if you weren't on those flights, you weren't going to be able to get back. We went from Hawaii to LA to Washington. When we landed in Washington, there were like 200, 300 South Africans, all pretty much just in the airport. Nobody had been guaranteed flights.
What?
Oh, thank you.
We only got approved to get on the flight 30 minutes before boarding, and we'd been standing on the line for about 12 hours.
Oh, Sarah, you're such a legend. Thank you so much.
Cabin crew or lieutenant call coming up.
Once we landed in Johannesburg, there was just nowhere for us to go. We had 300 passengers on the plane that one by one, they pulled us off the plane and put us onto the tarmac. Stood there for like 6 or 7 hours until they figured out a place for us to be able to go.
He's not there anymore. He decided to leave.
Just woken up.
Oh, shut up.
First morning. Wife is not too stoked. But actually the view's pretty good. Check it out. Not a bad view. At least we can see the outside world for 2 weeks. So this is gonna be us for 14 hours. Oh, mayday, the best thing yet. I've got a backseat driver. Oh, look at that. 13 hours later, we have made it. We have made it.
You know, I haven't been home for a winter in like 14 years. And even before that, I didn't even have a driver's license. So I'd only ever heard how good it can get. So this was the first time that I could really experience that and actually see it for myself and be there, part of it, feel like I wasn't missing out. Sure enough, the first morning we showed up, it was just cooking. South African winter, I swear you don't want to be anywhere else in the world than right there. When there's southwest swell and offshore winds, JBay is just incredible.
Make me come alive, come on and turn me on. Touch me, save my life, come on and turn me on. I'm so young to die, come on and turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on. Make me come alive, come on and turn me on. Touch me, save my life, come on and turn me on. I'm so young to die, come on and turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on.
Fashion circularity is thinking about how we can produce things in a way that aren't always using virgin materials.
A way of approaching fashion, a certain intention that you have when creating clothes, I think.
It's buying something, wearing it for a long period, to regenerate almost and to look after something.
Waste is a huge topic in our society right now. I think we all have to do everything to minimise waste.
The amount of water that's used to make a pair of jeans is hundreds and hundreds of litres.
Baylor t-shirts, which contains 1,200 pieces. That's 3.2 million litres of water. Everything from here is basically destined for landfill, and we are just naturally reusing that. Recreating designs through vintage.
The fashion industry in London has always been very focused on new and exciting, innovative ideas, and I think that particularly the younger generation, they are living in a world that has to change.
The way that we move towards a more circular industry is innovation and novelty through reusing fibres, materials, recycling in an industrial way, reducing water usage, energy consumption. All of these things really make quite a significant impact.
Making sure we design and produce garments responsibly. We use a lot of dead stock fabric. We don't overproduce.
For designers kind of feeling this pressure to produce more and more and more, there should be respect for the environment and for the materials that you use.
Produce a product that will last, that people will want to keep.
Only create what we need. The highest quality we can make. It's investment clothing. It's something that when you buy it, you want to keep it. It enhances the way that you feel about yourself.
A lot of technical care so that it will last, but also creating this emotional connection with the garment so that it's not something that you only use once.
Environmental or sustainable products can be seen as quite a premium thing that doesn't necessarily speak to everybody. We're trying to change at Glass Onion.
Buy responsibly. Think about the planet. Don't buy something just because it's the hypest thing to have now. Buy because you want it.
I think ways that you can make a difference is buying better quality if you can, but buying second-hand or even just keeping the clothing that you've had for longer.
Obviously, they may have to spend a little bit more money. That can be difficult for people, but if you knew that you could get a lot more wear out of it, that's a positive.
The most sustainable piece of clothing you have is already in your closet.
What Glass Onion is trying to achieve, and we're trying really hard every day to push this, is being accessible. Speak to the majority of people, because I think really that is what sustainability is.
There's lots of people in London who are working towards a more sustainable future, but if you don't buy our products, we can't continue making them. So we need your support, we need you to buy what we're making, and we need you to support young British designers.
Sunshine.
It's Lord's Day.
Fucking overriding in the dark.
New waters for me, new waters for my coach. Like, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just treated it as any other big nasty race.
For the last 5 years, 20 laps has been the record.
You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's like, the thing they say about 24-hour races, like, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like the police blotter, and so you just got to be ready for whatever's going to happen.
Like, I don't think I've ever ran that fast, especially in bike shoes. But I took off, had one person kind of elbow me, had someone else step on my heel, and I was like, you know what, we're out of here. Like, I kicked it into like fear mode and just boosted. Mission accomplished. Like, I was like, all right, first box of this beast of a race is checked. Like, I didn't crash, I got to my bike, now we can start riding. But there was people like still running past, trying to like get to their bike, and you're trying to weave around them, and like people were pointing like bike rear over here, and it was just like mass chaos. I was kind of looking for Taylor and Timon, and because I knew those guys were like the big, the other solo guys I had to watch out for, and we were all kind of marking each other because you want to keep them in check. You don't want another one of your competitors to get on a group ahead and be going faster than you, and you lose a couple minutes like the first few laps, just because you weren't mentally paying attention. So.
Fuck yes! My blind punch. I knew it, dude. Maverick. Woo!
Looking composed.
Yes.
Yes. Very composed.
Yes.
Chugged that monster from TJ. That was I saw that. I was like, I'm gonna drink that right now. I need this. I need a little boost, a little caffeine, a little sugar. Get me rolling again.
Leg warmers?
No, arm warmers or long sleeves.
When's the fuck the sun gonna rise?
Like, time was just gone. Time was irrelevant. Like, there was light, there was dark, there was light. Like, I was in between then, like, just rolling.
He is really the person that will take down the record and will move the needle for us going forward. And I think maybe the chase begins. Maybe it becomes an object of desire for the endurance community.
It's almost the pinnacle of gnarliness. Maybe there's some other gnarly things out there, like Colorado Trail or ZT or whatever, but I think this is one of the gnarlier things you can do on a bike because you have support, so you can go pretty hard, but it's a long time, man. Like, that was a lot, and I'm glad I did it, but I don't know if I need to do it again or not.
So, how you feel?
Pretty buckled.
Pull that.
You're having a good time.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, Lisa. We got you.
How's it going out there?
Dude, we're having a fucking good time.
Ciao a tutti. It's nice to see you again. The 2022 season is going to be very exciting and important in the history of Formula One. And to know more about what's new, I'm going to be joined today by Charles and Carlos. Ciao, Carlos.
Hello.
Ciao, Charles. So are you ready to enter into the new era of Formula One?
Ready, yeah.
More than ready.
I want you to join me in these two simulators. I want to know how much knowledge and who is the fastest. And for that, I have prepared Monza and the XX-K.
I like Monza. Nice memories from 2019.
This year, the cars will be completely different. But what has been the main objective of those changes?
Well, basically the changes were made to have better racing. So the car behind can follow closer the car in front.
And how much downforce or less downforce is going to be lost now when following the car?
Well, I think last year we were losing up to 47% of downforce, which is really a lot. And as a driver, you can really feel it. This year, the aim is to get to as low as 18% once following, which will help racing by quite a bit.
The cars will look also very different visually.
Yes.
Which are the main aero changes?
Everything, really. The whole aerodynamic side of the car has been changed completely. I think the cars are going to look completely different to each other.
And I heard something that we haven't heard in Formula One for a long, long time. Ground effect is back.
Yes, ground effect is back with the intention of just making the racing better, because we believe that ground effect should make it easier to follow between each other.
About the weight of the car, how is that going to change this season?
That's going to change quite a bit for driving for different reasons, but we are going from 752 kilograms to 795. So yeah, it is going to be interesting. The cars are completely new. Looking forward to it.
What's new on the tires of the Formula One?
The tires are going to go from a 13-inch to a 18-inch tires, so it should help overtaking, which in the end, it's all going in the same direction, no? Trying to improve racing and allowing us to push a bit more.
The format of the weekend is changing as well. Fridays.
It is. We'll now have a young driver in those two Grand Prix in one of our cars, which should be Robert for us. So I hope he will behave on the Friday and give us our car back in full peace.
Yeah, Robert, please keep the 55 car away of the walls. Eh?
I'm sure Robert will behave. He's going to be very lucky to drive your cars on two Fridays. Formula One is also thinking and moving into sustainability. So what's going to be the change there on our fuel supplier Shell?
Yes, so we're going to have a fuel from the regulations that is 10% ethanol, which means it's a more sustainable fuel. This should help us go in the direction of always going more and more sustainable in the future. At the beginning, we're going to lose probably a bit of power, but by the end of the year, hopefully in the future, we will recover this power. Oh, I'm about to overtake him.
Whoa, it's on the limit.
Yes, you are both on the limit. There'll be a new circuit next year. Which one?
Miami, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be incredibly special to go there. I really like United States in general. I think there's a very special... Oh my God, I broke way too early.
Yes, you did.
And yeah, I love the mood there is on the Grand Prix in the US. I'm really looking forward to this one.
And now a question that all the fans want to know. These new cars,
yes.
Are they going to be quicker or not than the previous generation cars?
Hey, always you have to leave the space, mate. We cannot say much because that will be giving information to the competition. But yeah, I feel like obviously quite heavy cars, so maybe at first will be slower than last year's cars.
I think the cars at the beginning should be slower than this generation. We need to remember that the last generation had 5 or 6 years of development, and the cars now is going to be on the first year of the generation. But I think the progress is going to be super fast, and at some point the cars will get as quick, so it would already be quite a big jump, no? If a car that is more than 40 kilos heavier can stay close to the performance of last year's car, that would be already quite an interesting change.
I can't wait to see, and I'm sure you as well, the new car, but I'm even also as interested to see who is going to be the winner of that race.
Yeah,
it is going.
Let's do it.
Oh no, you won.
What does the Drakensberg mean to me? Well, in a word, it's widescreen. It's a cinematic landscape. It stretches from horizon to horizon. It's just huge. The mountains here are very distinctive. Their jagged peaks just pierce the horizon, and instantly you know you're in the Drakensberg because no other mountains in the world look like this. Everywhere you look, there's a great shot. The plant and animal life is amazing. I've just been stunned by the variety of birds, and there's such a sense of tranquility. It's just beautiful. The landscape seems untouched, but you look and there's rock art everywhere. It really makes me feel connected to the people who have lived here thousands and thousands of years before. But I think it's those wide open skies of the Drakensberg that will stay with me. That's what I'm going to remember.
April 18th, 1906. A devastating earthquake strikes San Francisco, flattening buildings and setting off raging fires. Estimates of the final death toll range between 3,000 and 6,000 in one of the worst natural disasters ever to hit an American city. 1775. In Massachusetts, several post riders set out to warn colonists of the British attack that starts the American Revolution. One patriotic myth growing out of that movement begins with a Henry Wadsworth Longfellow poem called Paul Revere's Ride. 1983. A suicide bomber kills 63 people, including 17 Americans, at the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. 1955. Physicist Albert Einstein, considered the greatest scientist of the 20th century, dies in Princeton, New Jersey. He was 76. And 1999, hockey legend Wayne Gretzky plays his last NHL game at New York's Madison Square Garden. Gretzky, nicknamed the Great One for setting so many records, says it's time to move on.
It's hard. This is a great game, but it's a hard game, and I'm ready.
Today in history, April 18th. Ed Donahue, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,